Hey everyone, and welcome to our LakePoint Kids online family experience. I'm Ms. Rachel, and it's always fun to spend time with you. Alright, question. Since you can get your driver's license here in Ontario at age 16, how many years do you have until you can drive? See if you can do the math. Anyone wish they could fast forward that time a bit? Well, unfortunately, I can't help speed up that time, but I can show you some cars that you can enjoy in the meantime. Eating, that is, not driving. Check it out. Not only are these cars fun to make, they're delicious and healthy for you too. No license or seatbelt required. Now, I don't want to drive you crazy with all these pictures of food, so let's switch gears slightly and talk about the theme we're discussing this month. If you need a hint, we're likening it to what's under the hood of a car. It's integrity. Integrity is choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. I'll count to 3 and we'll say it together. 1, 2, 3. Integrity is choosing to be truthful in whatever you say or do. While a car might look awesome on the outside, if it has a crummy engine or the wrong type of gas or a missing piece, it's not going to work well. Same with people. They can look great on the outside, but it's what's on the inside that really matters. That's where integrity comes in, and that's how this verse applies. Anyone who lives without blame walks away safely, but anyone who takes a crooked path will be caught. Proverbs 10, verse 9, Nerve. You can't live a life of bad choices and get away with it. You can't have bad things in your heart and keep it hidden from other people. Doing the right thing and living the right way pays off, and doing the wrong things and making poor choices will catch up with you. Alright, if you're at home, try saying this verse while doing high knees, high fives, and a high-pitched voice. If you're at LakePoint Kids on site with us, then turn your attention to the stage. So integrity, what is that again? Well, integrity is choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. And our bottom line, or our focus point of today is, do whatever is right wherever you are. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Do whatever is right wherever you are. And the right thing right now is to listen closely to what's up next.
Welcome to the Story Lab. This week we're talking about integrity while we take a look at the story of someone who said no to something very tasty. Hey, I'm Carter.
And I'm Zeke.
We're talking about integrity, which is choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm studying to get my driver's license.
You might want to study the actual manual instead of a racing car.
I already know all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I probably know more about driving than you do.
That sounds like a challenge.
Let's do it.
It's time to play Driver's License Dry Run.
Dry run?
Like a practice test for the real thing.
Round 1. How much faster than the posted speed limit can you drive on the highway?
Oh, I know this. You can go as fast as you want as long as someone else is driving faster.
That is incorrect.
It is never legal to go faster than the posted speed limit.
That is the correct answer.
Okay, ask another one. I've got this.
Round 2. When is it okay to drive past a stop sign without stopping?
Oh, if you're late for school and you don't see anyone coming.
That is incorrect.
It is never okay to drive through a stop sign without stopping.
That is the correct answer.
Come on, these are trick questions, obviously.
Actually, these are pretty basic.
Double points for the next one. All or nothing.
Okay.
Welcome to the bonus round for double the points. When do you need to wear a seatbelt?
When your parents tell you to.
That is incorrect.
Every time you're in the car.
That is correct, and we have a winner!
Well, you should put on your seatbelt when your parents tell you to.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have to tell you to do it.
Fine, you win. I'll study.
Good.
Hey, that's my snack.
Speaking of snacks, it's time for...
The story before the story.
Today, we're in the Old Testament, the book of Daniel.
God had a plan to bless the whole world through one family, the Israelites.
But God's people kept turning away from God. It seemed every good king who led the people to follow God's laws was followed by a foolish king who led the people to do terrible, wrong things.
At last, God's people were attacked by Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian. Over and over, the kings who led God's people turned away from God. Finally, they were conquered by King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon.
I hereby declare you are under the rule of King Nebuchadnezzar.
The Babylonians took treasure from God's temple.
Our God will love these.
They also captured many of God's people and marched them across 500 miles of wild desert to Babylon. There, King Nebuchadnezzar gave orders to his chief official, Ashpenaz.
O Ashpenaz, bring me some of the Israelites to train and serve in my palace. They must be strong, intelligent, handsome, and able to adapt to life in Babylon.
4 of these young men were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Teach them our language and our literature. I must have the best and the brightest.
The chosen young men were to go through 3 years of training and eat food from the king's own table. King Nebuchadnezzar was determined to shape everything they would think, say, and do so they could serve in his palace. The first thing the chief official did was to change their names.
Name?
Mishael?
I'm going to call you Meshach.
Meshach is really close to Mishael, so...
Next. Name?
Hananiah.
Shadrach.
That's not even close.
Next.
Azariah.
Abednego. Next.
Daniel.
Belteshazzar.
Can you spell that for me?
Next.
The 4 young men faced their next challenge at mealtime. They were given the same luxurious food and drink that the king himself ate. But God made it clear to Daniel and his friends that it was wrong to eat the king's food, perhaps because it had been dedicated to the king's false gods.
We appreciate the honor, but we'd like to choose our own food and drink.
I'm under orders from the king. If you don't eat what you're supposed to and show up looking worse than the others, I'll pay the price for it.
Just test us for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables and water, and then see how we measure up.
You have 10 days.
So for a week and a half, Daniel and his friends ate nothing but veggies and drank nothing but water. And get this, at the end of those 10 days, Daniel and the others actually looked healthier than the other men who had eaten the royal food.
I wouldn't have believed it, but I'm impressed. They should call what you ate the Belteshazzar diet.
In addition to physical health, God gave Daniel and his friends a knowledge and understanding. Daniel could even understand dreams and visions. And at the end of 3 years, these young men were at the top of their class.
King Nebuchadnezzar, I present to you the graduating class of 584 BCE.
BCE?
No idea.
About that.
Nebuchadnezzar examined the young men and found that Daniel and his friends showed more wisdom and understanding than any of the others.
What lives if it is fed, but dies if you give it a drink?
That would be fire.
Amazing!
When King Nebuchadnezzar asked Daniel and his friends for advice, he found it to be 10 times better than that of his other advisors. He gave the young men important roles, and they served him for many years. The end.
Daniel and his friends were ripped away from everything they knew and then asked to do something they knew wasn't right. That must have been a lot of pressure, and it would have been easier just to go with the flow, doing what everyone else was doing, yet still they chose to do the right thing. A lot of times in your life, you'll be presented with two options. Do what is easy, or do what is right. Like maybe you're hanging out with friends who want to watch a movie you know your parents would not approve of. It'd be so easy to just watch the movie too. Or you could choose to say no thanks and help everyone else choose another movie to watch. And maybe if you're still not willing to switch movies, you'll have to choose something else to do. Or maybe you're taking a test that is really, really hard. You could choose to peek over at your neighbor's paper to check your answers, or you could choose to keep your eyes on your own work, even if it's really tempting. Doing the right thing can be tough sometimes, but if you're following Jesus, He sends the Holy Spirit to help you make the right decision so you don't have to face it alone. You can ask Him for help anytime for anything. Remember, do what's right no matter what it is and wherever you are. It's time to bring it home now with our small group time, so along with your parent, listen to today's instructions. First, take turns thinking of different realistic scenarios you could face where you have to choose the right thing to do. Ask each other what they think the right choice is, or if there are various right ways you could handle things. Press pause, complete the activity, and then come back for the second set of instructions. Next, get creative in the kitchen and try to make your own food car. Pull out crackers, peanut butter, grapes, bananas, cucumbers, potatoes, whatever you've got, and see if you can turn those yummy foods into a lean, mean driving machine. Parents, now's the time to either scan the QR code on the screen or head over to the LakePoint app to fill out our online connection card. Signing our guest book lets us know who is watching and helps us stay connected to you. It also allows you to sign up for our latest LakePoint initiatives and opportunities. So kids, while your parents are busy doing that, why don't you go and count how many fruits and vegetables you can list in just 60 seconds. Just a reminder that you can go back and watch your favorite LakePoint Kids online family experiences on our YouTube channel or on our LakePoint app in the Family Resources section. Thanks for tuning in today, friends. I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Remember, do whatever is right wherever you are.